My little project today is I have a pair of matching monogrammed pillowcases that my friend would like to be made into smaller cases. So I will be showing you how to do that. So let's get on with it. These are the pillows to be covered. So I'm just going to measure from one side to the other. 20 by 18.5, and this one is just under 20, so close enough. I'll say 18.5. It's a little bit smaller. The first thing I'm going to do is separate the front from the back. So just go along this fold line here to the end and then down the side and back along the bottom. I've measured the four sides of the cushion sideways and the average comes to 19 3/4. So that's 20 3/4. I'm then going to measure across the monogram on the outer edge, which brings it to 15 1/4. Now there's method in my madness, by the way. I fold that in half like that, and I'm going to line up that fold on the outside and put my pin in here at the base there, again at the top here, and then the same on this side there and there. Now the reason I've done it this way is from here all the way across it should give me, there you are, 20 3/4 inch or thereabouts. It's very close, slightly off, but it'll be fine. And fold this side over, line up my two pins as best I can. I can measure there to there, which is 9.5, there to there. That's really off. Okay, so I think the problem is that the monogram isn't very straight. Let's do that. Just over 9 inches. No, it's still slightly off. Let's see if I can square that up a little bit more, but not too much, because I don't want to have it too squiffy. I think that might be closer. Yeah, that's a little bit closer. The fact that it's not quite equal won't really matter. I'm going to cut along here, like that. I'm going to keep this because it's a good end. I'll probably put that on the back. And then I'm going to do exactly the same this side. Line those two up, only instead of measuring from here to here, I'm going to measure all the way across. That's 21 3/4, sorry, 20 3/4, and that's 20 3/4. Smush those out. I can take the pins out as well, then cut along that fold too. I'm going to line this all up on top of each other so that it's nice and square on. Spread this out, or I could do the same again, measure it out. Either way works. I think that's exactly on there. That feels right there. Okay, so this time I'm just going to cut up this side like this, and then I'll do the other side. I measured the four sides top to bottom of the cushion, and the average was 18 1/4, so adding the inch for the two seams comes to 19 1/4. So I am going to measure from the longest point here, both sides, which comes to 15 3/4, and again fold that in half to get the halfway mark like that. I'm going to measure down from that point and put a pin in here, just like I did for the sides. Oops, a daisy. There we go. Again, the lowest point to there, put my pin in. Then from the highest point from here, put my pin in. And the same here, highest point to here, put the pin in. I decided, because this is quite a wavy line at the bottom, to use the iron to help me. Fold along there and to the end here, keeping the corner here at right angles. Once I've got that into place, I'm going to come towards the pin, which I'm going to take out, to the next pin, and then keeping this end at right angles across. The sides weren't such a problem because there's more fabric to turn over. Popping that on that crease, I'm just going to cut all the way across here. Because this one was so close, I can't really turn that over. I'm going to make it 19 1/4, so I'm going to line up this end there and just cut across here to that point. Pillowcase fabric is so lightweight, it's quite irritating to work with, but try to keep everything straight as you can as you cut across. There we go, that is really tight. Try not to stretch it, just smoothing it into position. I think that's it. I'm just going to have to come to terms with I've run out of the fabric at the top there, because that's 1/4 inch in. So what I'm going to do, so I remember, is I'm going to mark down. So by putting that in there, that tells me that that's my 1/2 inch turn point. Again, line up the top one with the bottom one and pull that out. Smooth it into position very gently. And it looks like this one equally as wonky. I'm going to cut along here so that both are the same size on the bottom. There we go. And I'll remove the top one, smooth this out like I did before. The top of this might be slightly different, so I'm just going to line that up like I did before and cut all the way along, so that this one is also even. And you can see this one has a lot more at the top than the other one did. And that is why when I'm matching patterns, something like this, I always do them separately to start off with, if I think that there's going to be a problem. And in this case, there was. Never trust something like this if you've got a monogram is exact, because somebody put it in and they might not have realised it wasn't quite straight to each other, because after all you can adjust pillows to look identical. Now I haven't really decided how I'm going to finish these, so I've got one end here. I'm going to cut this to 19 1/4. This was the piece that I took off next to the monogram, so that's one. I'm not sure which one's straightest out of this one. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this one on top, make it even at the front, and then cut either side so it's straight to this, and then across here. There we go, that's those two. Now with the original backs, I'm just going to put end to end like that. This side here looks like it could be straight, so I'm going to just straighten that out to there and cut it in half. I will have plenty of fabric to do the back, because these were really large pillowcases like that. This is the finished side here, so I want to keep that. Again, measure it up 19 1/4 inches all the way across, and I'll do the same with the other side. So I've got this one and I need to layer it, so I have the short piece here which I'm going to put here. I could move it over and have the seam showing, but I really don't think I want that to be there. Not only that, the more equal you have of the two parts, the more difficult it can be to get the pillow in, so I don't like doing that. I'm going to take that right to the edge there, like that. Now the second one I'm going to bring over the top, and I think I'll put it there. I want to have a 3 inch overlap, which takes it to there on that side and there on that side. If I pin here so it doesn't move, and also this side so it doesn't move, I can remove this piece for now. It should have a 1/2 inch seam allowance, so that allows for that. And then I'm going to pin this into place across here, making it nice and even both sides. Just keep that straight. There's just a little bit of an overlap there, so again I'm going to just make sure that that's nice and even. And this actually comes over the top where I was a little bit shy, so I'm going to keep that and pin that into place too. And because that comes over, I'm going to turn that, pull it taut either side like that, and then I'm going to just cut back to the top, because I don't want to overstitch from the other side and miss this at all. So cut all the way down, and I'll do the same on the other one. Make sure that everything is identical. So I'm starting my seam about 1 inch in from the end here, and about 1/2 inch in from the side. I don't want to start it all at the end, because I need to attach the other part, and I don't want any loose ends down there. Keep this seam as steady as I can, which is a little bit awkward because it is a little bit wavy. Coming in at this end here, as I come in, a couple more stitches, there we go, maybe one more. Drop the needle, pick the foot up and twist it, and with a bit of luck that lines up. Yes, it does. I'm going to go up the side to the top, and then drop the needle again and twist it into position. Coming into the opposite of my beginning, and I am going to sew to about 1 inch before the end. I'm going to prep this piece to go in. It's not very obvious, but I'm going to take this over 1/4 of an inch from the bottom of the hem there, all the way across. Lay this out like this. Lay this one on top like that with the raw edges together there, all the way along. I'm going to pin this into place like this, as well as the other end and across the side here. This is the piece I'm sewing on top. Go back about an inch will be fine, and over sew the join. It doesn't matter that it's only been sewn in once because it's already been sewn in underneath, and that will take any stress. Again, to the corner, needle down, foot up, twist, then sew on round the second 2 sides. And now go to about an inch over the end from here. And finish. I'm going to go back here slightly to the beginning and dial up my zigzag that I rather like, and I'm just going to go all the way around the edge. I'm actually not going to go over the edge because the fine fabric wrinkles up a little bit, which it's going to do anyway, but I just don't want to be causing more of a problem. And I'll do this on all 4 sides. So I've got a thin piece of leftover fabric here, which I'm going to put there, and then I'm going to steam that into place. It should avoid any of the stitching being shown on the other side if I put something over the top. Just over the seams will be fine. If I do that, and then it's nice and flat and there's no real markings that have come through, that would be fine. Put it face up and I can quickly just press to freshen it up. Only a quick press. I don't want to do too much. Mostly steam actually. This is the smooth side and that has embroidery on it, so I'm going to keep the embroidery side up. So the smooth side is the side that's lent on, and it shouldn't cause any problems to the front of the fabric. And I'm just going to ease that into position, just like a normal pillow. Thank you for joining me on this project. I think my friend, her daughter especially, is going to like these matching small pillows for her room. They're so easy to make. I didn't want to put piping on them, I wanted to keep them as simple as possible. Just remember, when you are centering a monogram, you can dissect it this way, but it's easier to take the 2 widest points on each side, remove that from the overall measurements, and then divide by 2 to get the sizes that you want. It's a lot easier, especially as monograms don't often fold nice and evenly. I think this was a nice repurposing job. If you'd like to see more from me, please subscribe, hit the bell button, and a few thumbs up would be absolutely brilliant. And in the meantime, take care. See you later. Ciao.